What's up? I'm actually feeling quite good today. We're going to do something interesting. We're going to go over we were talking about Huperzin A last time. I was making a video and I'm going over some of the effects of Huperzin A and how that adds up in the total stack because I think it's important to talk about. It's a new change that I'm making and it's a different feeling. It's definitely a different feeling. I feel almost like that stimulant power when you take like something like Adderall or something. I think this like decently matches some kind of like Adderall level of things, level of nootropic. But I am not only taking Huperzin A, so I will give you guys a little taste of what's going on here. So I'm gonna ask Gemini about all these real quick. The twist is that, and all this stuff is better on an empty stomach, right? So Huperzine A better on stomach. Let me make sure of that real quick. Why some people do eat it with food is if it's too strong, right? If you get too many side effects, food can make it not as strong. Okay, right, good. Makes sense. So you won't get like nausea or something. Taking on empty stomach 30 to 45 minutes before you need your focus. All right, cool. That's great. And this is like a pretty relatively strong, like speedy chemical. I put this under my tongue and I'm gonna see if there's like, oh, some sublingual effects and everything. And I'm feeling it. I feel like I felt like a surge, like a speediness to it, a speedy vibe, right? So if I open up like CS:GO right now and I start like, scouting out for some headshots, that I feel like I could actually, maybe it has a real world effect. Maybe it does speed me up like tenth of a second or something. Um, so the feeling is nice and it's optimistic. It's not like there's no depression, bad feelings or anything. I feel like I could really like just go off and do anything with this kind of mood. And what is the mixture that the exact mixture of what I'm taking today? Huperzin A and PRL, right? And what did I do? I didn't take my nasal sprays. Well, they're both cholinergic, so I didn't. I actually should have. Yeah, I should have thought about that actually. But I only take a half dose of the droppers, the synthetic droppers, like PRL. So it's not like anything crazy. Problem is cholinergic overload, right? Took low doses of both, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, I keep it down to 500 and 100 microgram. So that's literally what I did. So yeah, I took half doses of both. Feeling great right now. And so I'm kind of sort of brainstorming here, like they're both cholinergics. Huperzine A, I've heard, could possibly increase reaction time if you take it regularly. Why wouldn't PRL 853 do this? So I mean, interesting stuff to think about. But like this is crazy. This is all I need. I had the I'm gonna wait on the other supplements because I just feel like this is it right here. This is like I feel smooth, perfect, speedy, strong state I'm in just from the PRL and Huperzin. So let me see what this actually says. Sharpening processing speed. PRL structurally fails to do this. So Huperzin is the speedy part that's making my reaction time faster. PRL, cholinergic potentiator. So amplifies signal transmission, floods the system with acetylcholine, not just in the prefrontal cortex for thinking, but also a motor pathway. I actually know it's about the myelin sheath. Something about Huperzine fixes the myelin sheath and like grows it better to stimulate this growth and carry the electricity through the body better. So that's why you can move faster. For example. Highly logical tactical setup. How flattering when I didn't think about the cholinergic side effects. But yeah, it could have been bad. I should have thought about it a little bit more, but I do know that maybe I'm on the edge of something where it's like, yeah, if I push choline too far, the cholinergic receptors and everything, that I only get like a headache and feel like dry and strung out a little bit. And I don't want that. So I'm not taking any more supplements or anything like that. For at least a couple hours, then I'll take my supplements with food, the other ones. And rhodiola, it also prevents the breakdown of certain monoamines, neurotransmitters. So if I took that too, then it's going to prevent the breakdown of choline, and then it could be a feedback loop and make me even more like crazy. But this is perfect. I just took a half dose. And I think people underestimate like, oh, so I'm a big guy, I need a big dose or whatever, or like more is better. No, no, no. This stuff is great. Stuff is great if you're feeling good and there's no problem. That's my verdict for today. I don't think there's anything like crazy new to discuss like other than that. We went over Huperzine A on the last video. What if I take it for a year? What's the possible benefits I could see? Reaction time, memory, math, skills, whatever, anything. Athleticism, anything. Let's see. What are all the benefits we could really get, right? Just to like, you know, icing on the cake, this whole situation. Wow, so you get lower brain fog, right? That's what I'm looking for. You ever get a concussion, hit your head, you realize the brain fog is really the heavy hitter. You really just feel like you can't think in that moment. And if you do try to think, it almost has a painful sensation and a strung out like feeling to it. And if you do think about something and you do a good job and it actually works out, you feel like exhausted after. So, neuroprotection, right? Natural antioxidant systems, nice. Does it upgrade the physical velocity of your nervous system's motor output, right? But but it does have NGF and BDNF, and so it could a little bit. It could. The possibility is that it can, from the mechanisms in place, or it will prevent a decrease. It'll prevent anything from getting worse, which is still good. Is what I'm saying, right? The danger. Okay. Down regulation. Your brain might adapt and have lower levels after you stop taking it, right? We know that happens with everything. It's possible to happen with everything, except like a lot of herbs. The body isn't gonna like adapt to an herb usually, and like become reliant on it or something. But yeah, your body can like become reliant on this acetylcholine maybe and start breaking it down faster and adjusting to it. And when you stop taking it, you might be tired. But that could only be for like a few days or a week. So to have like high performance for a year and then low performance for a week, obviously super worth it. Um, 3 weeks on, 1 week off cycle, 2 to 3 days a week. I want to use it like every other day because it's supposed to break down with a 10-hour half-life. It's supposed to break down. So people are concerned because it has a 10-hour half-life. Right. Meaning in the blood at 50% after 10 hours, 25% after 20 hours. So by the next morning, it's at about 20%. What if you just take it every other day? So that would be 3 to 4 days a week, right? So 3.5 days a week. So that'll be 5 to 8% of the original peak. And then you add another pill at 48 hours, which is, the every other day schedule. That'll be up to 105, 108. And then, it's a little bit higher, but it's good, So you'll be at around 105 to 110% of the dose by the 40-hour mark when you take the second dose. Monday dose, Tuesday off, Wednesday dose, yeah. Full weekend to flush the system. Um, Does Huperzin have health benefits for the blood system or any other organs? I felt like it was saying that Huperzin had like way more health benefits for the organs and stuff. So cerebral blood flow, right? And systemic anti-inflammatory, anti-aging effect. Yeah, I was right, right? So I felt like I looked this up before. Um, Stomach and lungs, you get more gastric acid, whatever, right? That should be fine. Brachycardia, which is actually people get worried that your heart rate gets slow and you could die. But that's when they were taking extremely high doses of like crazy drugs like EPO, where the heart would have to like continue pumping because the blood gets too much oxygen and too much iron and heme and hematocrit and all this stuff, and it makes it too thick. So they have to keep like waking up and moving their blood to like stay alive, which is insane, which is ridiculous. Might as well like throw the towel in at that point. Like, if you're gonna die, I don't know. What's the point in doing like a crazy cycling sport cheating program? Right, but they all did it at some point. We know that. They were guilty. Either way, liver cells, anti-inflammatory to liver cells. That's awesome. Glaucoma, protecting optic nerve, right? Muscular system, severe muscle weakness. Yeah. So say if you didn't, it actually does help the muscles. If you didn't have the proper like myelin sheath nerve electricity conductivity to drive the electricity through the muscles, in that situation, Huperzine would actually help because that's it's a common use. They actually use it for that, and probably works, right? Why would they use it if it didn't work? So, and it says it does help. So we know that it should help the muscles. And say like, you're a normal person, you don't have any muscular system problems. But if you're like a heavy power lifter and you just lifted like 500 pounds and your whole system is heavy, taxed, exhausted, then you take Huperzine A, then you can train a little more, cover a little more, like you wake up the next day, you're exhausted, you had a great lift, you're making progress, but you're going to be destroyed for the entire week. But maybe you take Huperzine A 1 or 2 days. Bang. The neuromuscular system is now charged. Even though you did that insane lift, that 500-pound lift, you can forget it and move on, move forward, because it was great training and the muscles will grow. But the whole nervous system is going to be massively taxed, exhausted. You might be sleeping like 10, 12 hours. And so it's hard to continue with daily life at some point when people are doing that sort of thing. And this will really help recover everything. So it's like recovery or something. Or I mean, I think it'll get you back in the gym like 1 day earlier or something. But if that happens every week, instead of 4 days off of the gym or 3 days off of the gym, you get like 2 days off of the gym and then you can hop back in. That happens every week. You get an extra pound of muscle or extra 100 pounds to your presses and lifts. Over time, the effects can be shockingly useful. Right, I really believe in this the neuromuscular system. How important that is, because a lot of us, we have great genetics for maybe muscles, or we have great genetics for the neuromuscular system, the nerve endings, how the nerves attach to the muscle, and balance and grip and things like that. Things that actually don't include contractile tissue and the size of the muscles. I feel like this for me is bad. I feel like my neuromuscular junctions are kind of weak, even though I have pretty big muscles. I'm a pretty big guy, 200 pounds, 195 maybe right now, but 200 pounds most of the time. And then, right, so why can't I lift like 300 pounds and 400 pounds and stuff? Well, I'm not all muscle mass. Like, I'm a little bit tubby, but that's not the problem. Like, I have big muscles, and I'm really good at high rep ranges, right? Because you don't have to drive like an insane amount of electricity through a muscle. You just have to do it many times, right? And so I like it. It's a better heart workout because you're getting more blood flow through the body and everything. I digress. But I think I could help. I could get a lot of help from neuromuscular increasers and benefit substances, right? So, and then the risk to the organs, I think is kind of bullshit. It's like, well, this is only going to happen if you have a lot, right? It's only going to happen if you have like, I took 100 micrograms. It's only going to happen if you have like 200 or 300 micrograms. And then stomach ulcers, digestive blockages, asthma. So I don't have any of that. So whatever. Overdosing can cause blood pressure fluctuations. Yeah. But for the vascular system, if it improves blood flow and has systemic anti-inflammatory action, it should help the heart function better, right? Because, better blood flow to the heart, better blood flow to the entire body, and so highly studied for vascular dementia where impaired restricted blood flow causes cellular decay, right? And kills it for chronic systemic inflammation, right? So, which contributes to heart disease. So this could improve heart disease if you have heart disease, and the bradycardia risk is specifically significant at high doses. So you don't need to worry about that if you're taking a controlled, intelligent dose. There should be zero problems. And without further ado, that's it. I'm taking a lot of time here going over Huperzin. I'm not taking many other supplements today. I'm going to eat my meal and take my regular supplements with my meal, which are going to be, Lemaramin, WGX50, same thing. Those are two names for the same thing there. And then, which actually gets rid of beta amyloid cells in the brain. And and so that's excellent. And excellent nootropic and cellular increaser sort of thing. And then what else? I'm going to take my grapeseed extract. I'm going to take my probiotic. It's kind of basic stuff. Then my Shatvari and my fenugreek are the sexual and testosterone increasers that I'm using right now. I have my cypionate. I have my test cypionate. I don't know if I'm going to take that. I feel good now, maybe without a gym. I'm going to get my license in 4 days. I have a meeting to get my license at the DMV place. So it sucks. It's going to take some time. I don't have my license. I can't drive to the gym. It sucks, but I think I'm going to be on testosterone like next month. Like 10 days, give it 10 days. And then I'll be in the gym on testosterone, flying high, killing it. So I'm pumped. It's going to be great. I'm feeling good. I just got to study some exams right now, and I'll be good to go. So peace out. Have a wonderful time, guys.